Quick shout out to my Patreons who keep this channel going. You can join my Patreon down in the description below. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the 6th episode of Cells at Work Code Black. This was titled Kidneys, Kidney Stones, and Tears. Oh, kidney stones. I am so thankful in my life I've never had to deal with them. And I hope to maintain that for as long as possible. Because, my god, I hear a lot about things when it comes to kidney stones. And I really would rather keep that as just things I've heard rather than things I've personally experienced. Although, reading that you're meant to drink 3 liters of water a day to potentially go against that, not happening. 3 liters ain't happening. 2 liters, I can barely reach that if I try. It's just, it feels like that's so excessive. And it's like, if I'm going to the toilets more times than I'm pouring a drink, it's like, well, I think I'm over drinking at that point, but I guess that depends on your body, right? Like, if you get used to drinking 3 liters of water per day, then I guess it just becomes part of your normal rhythm. But if I was to go suddenly up to 3 liters, my body would be like, hey, what the hell's all this extra water for? But maybe it would do me good. I don't know. But so far, touch wood. This desk isn't wood, but touch wood anyway. That's not going to be a problem in the future. But anyway, last time out, we, after just about surviving the gonorrhea, the white blood cells are kind of diminished, so we have the killer T cells doing a lot of the work in place of them whilst we bolster up our strength and can go back out. But it also means the killer T cells now being overworked excessively, that it's becoming a bit of a problem, and as a result, mistakes are being made, such as hair cells with their rapid ability to reproduce, essentially, and split. They're now being mistaken for cancer cells because they have that same very rapid rate of their splitting. Well, there's a proper word for it that I'm just forgetting now. I'm very tired today. When am I not? Let's be honest. So it's causing a lot of the hair to be burnt up and to become inflamed and to fall out, which explains why hair loss happens when you're stressed and you're overworking. So it's a nice way of depicting that. Ultimately, it doesn't even get any better because helper T cell, who's meant to be like kind of in control, then releases cytokines to make them even more berserk, believing like this is a war that we have to absolutely win at all costs. And the only reason we actually survive again is because of steroids. Again, outside influence being the key, because most of these end up being outside influence helping us out. Like, either the situation doesn't get fixed, or it's outside influence that ultimately happens. For example, in episode 3, we couldn't get an erection until we were given Viagra. Episode 4, we couldn't defeat the gonorrhea until we had a penicillin. Episode 5, we couldn't defeat our own body from destroying us until we administered steroids. And in the first 2 episodes, we haven't actually fixed the issue of the drinking, the smoking, and the poor lifestyle choices therein. So, yeah. Every single problem requires outside help. Our body is not fending for itself naturally in any real instance. So, yeah. It's not looking great, let's be honest. And kidney stones, I think, again, is going to require outside influence. I don't know how they treat kidney stones. I know they have to break the stone up so that you can pass it, like, naturally. I guess depending on the size of the stone would depend on what sort of treatment you get, I suppose. Like, if you have a particularly small one, you could probably try and pass it naturally and not have too much interference. But if it's a particularly large one, which is probably going to be, judging by this, you're probably going to have some assistance in getting rid of it. I don't know how bad they can necessarily get. I don't know if they've ever been... Are kidney stones ever life-threatening? Actually, I kind of want to just know that real quick. Kidney stones... Can they ever be life-threatening? Potentially serious, even life-threatening complications. The infection. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if you're causing a lot of damage, you open a gateway for infection, and an untreated infection can get very deadly. Okay. That makes sense. I was like, the stone itself probably isn't that bad, it's what it leads to. And yeah, damaging the kidneys and leading to infection is definitely the bad thing. So I imagine we'll probably have to deal with an infection as well as the stone going forward. So that's going to be fun, isn't it? Anyway, As per usual, here on YouTube we do time-based format actions. If you want to see full picture-in-picture, you can go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all picture-in-picture reactions I do, which is everything from this season and future seasons, as well as some backdated shows, Patreon request shows, etc. But yeah, here on YouTube we have to do time-based. So bottom left of the screen you'll see the time for the episode. I count down 3, 2, 1, play. Play, you start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. Watch this one on Funimation as per usual, since that's what we like to it this season. We have the Funimation logo, then the Aniplex logo, then the Funimation logo, so about 12 seconds logos. I'll call them out as they go past, so you can also use screen flash on my face or the mic to tell when those scenes are transitioning. So, with all that said, let's just get into episode 6, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Aniplex. And Funimation. Cheers. Here we go. Oh, here is our kidney stone. Immediately starting with it. Yep. Yep. A lot of red blood cells going. We are powerless again. Okay, OP time. Once again, another problem that we can't fix naturally. No rest for the wicked. Alright, kidneys, kidney stones, and tears. Yep. I'm sure everyone is. Mm-hmm. Oh, lovely. Dehydrated as well. Lovely. Uh-huh. Muppet. It's funny they say that when their faces are both completely clean, but whatever. Well... Well, that's probably where the problem's starting. Okay. Glomeruli, okay. Talking is strictly forbidden. Interesting. What's with the talking signs? new policy because they're overworked, yeah. I guess they are just that overworked. Mm-hmm. The same issues. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yep. Oxalic acid. Oxalic acid. I'm sure they'll explain it in a minute, but I'm curious what the effect of what that sort of build up actually leads to. Or is this like the premonition of the kidney stone, I'm guessing? Well, it's not just that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hmm. Something in the pipes, yeah, that makes sense. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah. Kidney stones. 1 centimeter. Oof. I have no idea how, for context, that. I assume that's big. Oxalate. That's probably where the oxalic acid comes from. Crystallized. Okay. That makes sense. Anything larger than 1, okay. So below 1, you're probably fine. But. Oh boy. Yep. Mm hmm. Yep. King of. I would believe that. Oh boy. Okay, that makes sense. Why the silence? Jesus. It's stuck. I don't think you're gonna have any influence on this. Hmm. Here we go. Outside intervention. Breaking it up. Not gonna try and say that. Smashing kidney stones, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now we can pass it naturally. Hey, white blood cell. Mm-hmm. Hey, platelets time. Hmm. Yeah, everyone is. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of white blood cells here. I'm just pointing that out. Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Hitching a ride in on the equipment. That's quite a lot of them. But it was forced open. I think that speaks ill of hospital practice. Yeah. Yeah. It would seem so. Yeah, because the whole point is like all equipment that goes inside the body or deals with the body should be, it should be taken care of. So that doesn't happen, but it often does. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, all the types. Of course he is. There's a lot of them. Yeah. Yeah. Very slow to respond, but yeah. Very much suits their appearance, though. Hmm. Hmm. Well, yeah. We're gonna have some outside medicine again this time for this. Oof. Mm-hmm. And you're losing even more. Yeah. Oh, got the confidence to speak up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Was that Graham? It was. Oof. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Well, it is. Hmm. Mm-hmm. They can't regenerate. Interesting. Oh boy. Still not looking great. Mm-hmm. Oh, yep. Okay. Yep. Outside interference. Antibacterial drug, okay. Okay. Good, good. Just. One of these days we won't. Hmm. 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 Mm-hmm. Very much so. I don't think that's a good thing. Alright, next time. So, caffeine, oh boy. Temptation, jealousy. Ah, interesting. Caffeine, temptation, and jealousy, huh? Hmm. What the? Here's the thing. I'm drinking some cola. So the only one I have in a day is when I'm doing these videos, just to keep me going along. It's just part of my tradition. I used to be way worse on these. I used to drink, well, mostly cola. Well, it used to be my main drink of choice, but recently I have weaned myself off a lot of it, and it's now predominantly water, occasional warm drink like tea or hot chocolate or something, and then that makes up just one drink, like one can, 330 milliliters per day is all I drink of cola nowadays. I could cut it out entirely at this point, But at the same time, I kind of don't want to because I do still enjoy it. I don't think one a day is necessarily a horrendous thing. I'm sure it's not great, but it's not horrendous either. And every time I buy one, it's always the no added sugar type. So whether it be Pepsi Max, whether it be Diet Cola, anything like that, that's always the one I try and get. Coke Zero, just to avoid that. Also because it's cheaper, because sugar tax and all that nonsense. So there's no way I'm going to buy one that's more expensive when really I can't taste the difference between them anymore. I've had way too many colas in my life, from the cheap like 50p stuff to the pricier colas, like straight Coca-Cola with the full sugar. At this point, I've just new to my taste buds and I can't tell the difference. Like, you could just put two in front of me, I wouldn't know the difference unless it was something like, I don't know, like one of the vanilla or cherry ones. Like, I think then maybe I'd be able to tell the difference. But the different types of Pepsis and colas, just without sugar, with sugar, I couldn't tell you a difference anymore. It's just not possible. But I am curious to see how the caffeine affects the body. Like, obviously, we're going to be seeing an excess of caffeine probably in this instance, not just a regular amount of caffeine that you could expect to see. But I'm curious what sort of adverse effects that might be having on the body. Just going forward. So, going to be interesting. I'm loving the show, as per usual, because it's just so informative. And whilst I don't know a lot about medical, like medicine and particular practices, particular bacterium and stuff like that, I am learning a lot, and I'm learning a better understanding of it, to the point of where it's like, if someone mentions something, I'd be like, oh yeah, then I know what that is now. Like, yeah, I knew what a kidney stone was. I didn't know how they got rid of them. Apparently they have a way of blasting them to bits. So that's a thing. I guess it makes sense, right? Like, if it's too big to pass naturally, you break it down into smaller bits so you can pass it naturally. Makes sense. And that explains why you might pee blood at the time, because it's tearing apart the walls as it's trying to be passed. And that's what's causing the pain, as it rips the inside of your body up. It's all just very, very informative. And I think this is one of those shows that I hope, like, because we all knew the cool teachers, right, in school that would be very open to, like, playing videos and stuff in their classroom and doing things like not just straight reading from a book or straight lecturing from a whiteboard or anything like that. The ones that would experiment and change it up and make lessons different. We all know a teacher like that. At least I hope you know a teacher like that, because if you haven't had a teacher like that in your life, you've kind of missed out, and I apologize. But there's definitely a couple from my school that I could think of that did something like this. If this show was around when I was in school, I guarantee they would have played it. Like, I guarantee if my teacher, if I was still in school and was being taught by that teacher when this was coming out, 100% we would have watched this. 100%, because it would be very, very relevant. And genuinely educational, and I guarantee we would be taking a lot of worthy notes on that. I guarantee it would be very effective, because I feel like I'm much more attentive to something like this, and maybe this is just my style of learning as well, but I'm more attentive to something like this than just straight out of a textbook, because it's a textbook. It's not exactly very exciting unless you have an inherent like for the subjects. I know people who have very inherent likes for the subject. I used to be very much into math, and I used to very much look forward to math class and seeing what the next step would be. I genuinely took an interest in that. Less so now, because, well, why would I? It's not exactly furthering anything in my life right now. Funnily enough, I was planning September 2020. I was planning either 2020 or 2021. I was planning to get into going back into university and trying to get a math degree. That was my ambition, because bit about me, I was looking to get into math degree and then into teaching degree, and then maybe taking that as my career path, but that didn't happen. Thank you, COVID, and also thank you myself and my lack of motivation to do anything with my life. But yeah, I was working out the money to be able to afford my degree, and yeah, that didn't happen. But hey, I'm learning stuff. Like, even if you're not in school, you can learn a lot. Like, just this season alone is a prime example. I'm learning about the bacteria and cytokines and lactic acid bacterium. I'm learning about the effects of overwork and hair loss. I'm learning about kidney stones. I'm learning about animals thanks to Heaven's design team and how certain animals have different traits that are both horrific and also very interesting. It's like, there's plenty of education to be found in life outside of a classroom, and that makes me happy that such shows can be so well received and viewed nicely, because it's educational, and seeing educational and fun and entertaining in the same sentence is not common, so I always appreciate that. Anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Leave a like if you did, as per usual, as well as your comments what you thought of the episode. Both help with engagement, and that's the most important thing you can do to help boost the channel at this point. Don't forget to subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the Winter 2021 you can find on my channel. I think we just hit 700 subs today, or we're very close, I know that. I think we did hit 700. Yep, we hit 700 today. Yeah. So thank you everyone for that. Our goal is still 750 by the end of the season, and considering we're at the halfway point, I think we can easily smash that. 50 more subs by the end of the season, I think you guys can do that. So thank you everyone for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.